Whenever you're ready, Team 4.
Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So today, I don't have a question to ask you. I don't have a suggestion to make your life a little bit better. No. Today, I have a command. That command, use strategic thinking in your workplace. Just do it. Now, I know you're thinking, Corey, I don't feel like working. It's Friday night. Well, you know what? After our presentation, I want y'all to be using strategic thinking in your life 24/7. Now, how many of y'all have seen The Office? Yeah, that's very good. Essentially, what we want is for y'all to aim to be Dwight. Dwight comes close to being the perfect encapsulation of what strategic thinking hopes to be. Dwight is constantly looking for ways to improve upon himself, and he's thinking about where he can go. On the other hand, we don't want y'all to be Kevin. Kevin is pretty far on the opposite of that spectrum. Essentially, what makes Dwight so great is that starting from day one, Dwight goes into the workplace knowing that he wants to maximize his opportunities. Dwight goes in knowing what strengths he has, he knows what weaknesses he has, and he acts on them, and he knows how to get ahead. And eventually, Dwight even goes on to tell corporate management how they can improve their efficiency. Now, he has some attitude issues, and we want y'all to be better than him in that way, but he still accomplishes a lot with what he has. On the other hand, you have Kevin, who pretty much does the bare minimum all the time. Kevin comes in, he does exactly what he's told, sometimes even less than that, and that's about it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people with a Kevin mindset in the workplace, and there's a lot less Dwights out there. And if you push yourself to be a Dwight, then you're going to be getting the job interviews, you're going to be getting the promotions, and you're going to be seen as a leader amongst your coworkers. Now, to become your best Dwight self, we've got a few points that we're going to cover. Starting off with strategic thinking as an individual, which is the idea of assessing your own strengths. Then we have interpreting the bigger picture, which we want you to go beyond just seeing the bigger picture and actually knowing what you're doing that's going to affect the bigger picture and how you can actually make it better. Then we have strategic thinking as a team. And finally, we're going to end off with staying open to feedback, which, for those of y'all who have seen The Office, you know Dwight is pretty horrible about that, but we think y'all can be better than that. All right, Stephen, take it away.
Thank you, Corey. When thinking of thinking strategically as an individual, you want to be social. Sorry. When thinking strategically as an individual, you want to clarify your objective. By meaning clarifying your objective, you're going to know what you want to accomplish with what you have, with what resources you have. By also knowing understanding your part, knowing the who, where, what, how you're going to accomplish your objective or goal. Finally, by shedding your bad habits, you're going to be able to, such as shedding the procrastination, bad talking, or not being a good team member. That's going to allow you to progress in your career or as a student. Now, to give an example of me of strategic thinking as an individual, I was working in Movies 10. How many of y'all have been to Movies 10? Really? That many? Okay. I just sprained my ankle. I just was loading something in the compactor, and I wasn't able to finish my shift, which I was playing theaters. So thinking of, okay, I still have to finish my shift. We're still busy. It's a Saturday. Okay, I'm going to go to the box office where I can at least sit down. I'm going to still have my voice. I still have my hands. I can still sell tickets and be able to help concession until they're, or at least help my concession, help Concentra, not Concentra, keep on saying, Cinemark until the shift is over with. The person switched with me. They would go to finish cleaning the theaters for me. And by me using strategic thinking as an individual, I was able to help my team improve. Thank you. David?
Thank you, Steve. Thinking strategically as a team involves being social, knowing company's philosophy, and planning your team's strategy. Being social means you can engage with your team members as well, while knowing the company's philosophy means it can give you a direction as to what your strategy is. Now, knowing your strategy and thinking about this meme specifically, not sure if you're a robot or a human. A robot really only has one program to where it does one strategy. But when you're a person and you're trying to develop a strategy as a team, it could be changing. The strategy could be changing so that you need to be able to quickly adapt to what you're trying to do. And what this also means is being able to invite dissent, which is staying open to debate, holding high subjectivity, and share your ideas. Now imagine your boss comes in and he says to your team, and he says, I want you guys to make the best possible idea for this assignment to make money. Now, your team has to come up with the best possible idea. How is that going to go? Are you going to be, I guess, for example, Sheldon? How do you think Sheldon would come up with this idea if he was working with Leonard in the Big Bang Theory? He probably would be very subjective, saying, my brain is better than all yours. And then others are going to be like, sharing your ideas also engages like being able to let people tell you, you know, your idea is good, but here's a better one. And you have to find the best possible idea that way. In this ad, you can see, one, this is not the right example, where the dude is thrown out the window because his idea isn't bad. But really what you want to do is just find a family engagement where you are able to share your ideas and be comfortable with that.
Okay, so to wrap things up here, I'm James, by the way. Be a Dwight. So I know this sounds crazy. I mean, most of you guys have seen The Office. He does things that are unethical, and he's intense, and he's crazy. But like at the same time, he does use strategic thinking to maximize his station. He goes from being the head salesperson or the highest ranking salesperson in the office to becoming a regional manager at the very end. And he does this by networking with his bosses, from Michael Scott to Will Ferrell's character to Andy to the CEO, Dunder Mifflin, at the very end to become a regional manager. Stay focused. So failure to clarify your objectives starting out is bad. So how many of you guys, by show of hands, have started an essay or a project without having a clear outline of what you want to do first? Exactly. And how many of you guys, halfway through it, realized it was off the rails, you don't know what's going on, so you had to start all the way over? Exactly. So having a clear objective and end game at the very beginning makes it way easier for you to accomplish your objective. And thirdly, keep flexibility in groups. So obviously, when dealing with people, it is the most variable object in any sort of situation. People are all over the place all the time. So it's important to be able to take feedback and to be able to be flexible when dealing with them. I do have an example of this. I was starting at a restaurant. I was just waiting tables. It was my first waiting table job, and I was so nervous. And so we had this like week full of like intense training, like 8 hours a day training. And so at the very end of the week, you basically had to have like a mock table with like one person, and it was a manager, and she basically played the part of a very difficult customer. Okay, so like I got the job, but at the same time I just slammed through all the different points in the spiel. But at the very end, she told me I was very robotic because I wasn't very flexible to feedback and wasn't able to go back and forth. But that also comes with experience. So in conclusion, we do have a few words from our fearless leader, Dwight.
Don't be an idiot. Changed my life. Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
So do you guys have any questions?